that was my sentiment, man. And as I listened, as I listened to blog talk show after blog talk show about Professor Griff, I'm like, wow, this is critical. Yeah. Really critical. And most of the time I was laughing because I said, that's not me they talking about. Sometimes I read some stuff about me in the newspaper or something that these demons put on TV about me, and I laugh. And just for the record, man, Public Enemy, we come from Roosevelt, Long Island, man. We put this Public Enemy thing together not even knowing whether or not if the label was going to kick us off the label, drop us, or whatever. We knew we was heading into uncharted waters by trying to raise the conscious level of the people. Hell, I was trying to do that, and at the same time control Flavor Flav's while behind.
How did you manage to pull that off?
So, and keep my hair. Hell, I'm like, damn. So, me and Chuck said either we're going to be dead in 2 years or in jail. And I was willing to accept that. So I said, we got to do it. We have to do it to teach our people. Then to have you come back and say we was a government agent program.
Now that's one thing, because there was, and I don't, we've already made amends on all this, but I want you to know that I never stated publicly that y'all was a government agent. I think that agent thing, that's when things really got out of hand, because you won't hear me state publicly in any of my lectures or in any of my articles or anything that I stated that you guys were government agents, because I know that not to be the case. But as soon as we start throwing around agent, that's when stuff gets too critical. And one of my issues that I took, and one of the things that really upset me, was when you called my wife and I an agent. We've already talked about that, and we resolved it. But I just want you to know that I never stated publicly that Public Enemy was a government agent, a group.
Okay, but can I ask you something then? With
sure,
that
sure.
Said, knowing that it's already behind us, just from my heart and my head, so I can sleep at night, what was the purpose, man, in all of this? When you decided to do this? Just for me.
Oh, okay, now you're saying
and a few thousand people that are listening.
Okay, I know. Are you saying the purpose of the addendum or the
addendum? Yeah, the addendum.
Yeah. For me, I was trying to illustrate how even within the quote unquote conscious community, the groups that we are promoted as being conscious, that there is a level of control by the entertainment industry, and that control does impact the direction of these groups. And so for me, the addendum was kind of like my way of showing how you, or at least my perception, that you were put in a position early on to where the controlling forces had a level of control over the direction of your quote-unquote musical career. Now, that without the understanding and the knowledge of what you have shared with me since. Okay, so in terms of the addendum in my presentation of it, I want people to understand that I've already admitted that many of the assertions made therein were in error based upon what you said, what we've talked about already, Professor Griff. But my intent was not to harm you or to harm anyone else. My intent was to illustrate and to use you as an example in error of the fact that the entertainment industry does, in fact, have a level of control over artists that many people are unaware of. And again, this is in error. In retrospect, I can say that. But at the time, I sincerely believed that you were an adequate example. In retrospect, I understand that you were not.
Oh, give thanks. Well, I'm glad we're able to make that
yes, sir,
delineation and to make it clear, because my whole career is just based on me raising the conscious level of our people. You understand what I'm saying? And
yes,
I use the medium of music or hip-hop to do it. But if you go listen to any song of mine, it's like, wow, he's saying this on record to the industry and the people. And half the time people just don't believe it. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I've always taught our people, plain and simple. And I can honestly speak for the white people that are listening that's benefited from hip-hop. Do you realize the white fan base that Public Enemy has?
Oh, yes.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, white dudes right now that call me is ready to ride. You understand what I'm saying? Simply because we speak to something to them that they don't get from AC/DC or U2 or Bon Jovi or Vanilla Ice.
That's
you
real talk. Mm-hmm.
Are you following me?
That's real talk.
Or Tears for Fears or, one of them groups. Or Fleetwood Mac. I'm just saying,
Right.
there's nothing wrong
Right.
with those artists if that's what you're into. But I'm just saying, Public Enemy speaks to something, and we speak truth to power. So for them to hear someone like you saying the things that was said, it's like, wow, for real? So we have to understand, we have 8 minutes left, and I don't want these 8 minutes to go by and not let the people know that that this has truly have been eye-opening and enlightening for me. And I tell everyone, as I teach, I learn. And it's something that I started listening more, not only to what people say before, during, and after the lecture, but how they feel about the information. And a lot of times it's overwhelming. The amount of information that myself and Black Dot have put out there, people are just now catching up with it, and it's been 5 and 6 years already with me and Black Dot. You understand? And then even prior to Black Dot is my whole history in Public Enemy. Before Public Enemy, it was an entire few years before then. I've always been on this mission. I've come too far just to let someone flush the toilet on me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I just really want you to know that. And personally, just from me to your wife, I don't know your wife, didn't know that she was pregnant. But like I said to you off the air, I offered you my apology, and I basically said to tell your wife that I'm definitely going to deal with this situation as delicate as I possibly can by letting these brothers know to leave you and your family alone. And she has nothing to worry about, not coming from Professor Griff. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because that's just not how I roll. I have 3 daughters and a granddaughter. You understand what I'm saying? That I know I have to protect.
That's right.
And I know your duty and your job as a man and as a father. Plain and simple. I'm there. I'm a grandfather. I know what you're dealing with. But we have to understand something, brother. Your wife is bearing life, but the people that listen to myself, Dot, and Lenon Honest, they're pregnant also. And they're about to give birth to some new information that's going to make this information look like child's play. And that's our duty. Black Dot said it. Use us as points of reference. And we can't have them use us as a point of reference if we're having this kind of madness go on.
That's real talk.
Now, listen, brother, like you just said, I'm not expecting you to have your next child and name it Professor Griff shit. Well, I understand that we may not ever agree on some things, hell.
That's right.
But I'm saying, at least when we do our research, I know that I could pick up the phone and say, listen, brother, I ran across some information. You mind expounding on this so I can kind of take this further? And we have that kind of dialogue.
Yes, sir.
Plain and simple. But I really appreciate this.
Yeah, and me too, bro. Oh, bro, me too. And of course, I'm gonna say it again. I said it before many times. Much respect to you, and I apologize for the pain and the hardship that this may have caused for you, your family, your fan base, and so forth. I want everyone to understand that was definitely not my intention. And as Black Dot said so eloquently yesterday, moving towards 2011, it's about love and health. And that's exactly what we're trying to present to people here today. And all y'all who wanted this to continue to go on and have been trying to fuel the flames to keep this going, get the hell on, because it's done. Brother Professor Griff, can it be stated at this time that this is done?
This is done. The only thing I think we need to do, the people that are putting stuff up as we speak, I think we basically got to leave it up to them for them to search their own hearts. There's some stuff that was put up today that I'm trying to reach the people and let them know, look, we have to take that down. That's just not, as right now, it's outdated. It's done. So I'm going to try to reach out to the few people that put some other things up because we have to understand something has been set in motion. And they're probably not listening to this conversation. They following me. So I'm going to have to physically hang this phone up, get back on my phone, and reach out to some people and let them know.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't open up for people to ask me questions because it would have been just too congested.
That's right.
People are just they have to do their own research. But guess what? My phone number's still out there. It's 678-557-2919. Anybody can call me. I'm open to speak to anyone. It's always been open to anyone. Are you following me?
There you go.
You know, and I think out of all of the people that I heard call your show or leave a comment, the women, sisters, y'all know y'all need to stop. It's funny. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but sisters, wow. I can see some of the brothers in their misguided anger. But sisters, y'all go for the jugular vein. I was already an imp. I was already a fag. I was already dead. I was already all of these things. One sister on your show, and I'm laughing about it now, but one sister was on your show and said, how dare this Professor Griff guy? And he's supposed to be some kind of black, spiritual, conscious leader. I'm like, stop that. No one said I was those things but you. No one said I was those things. I always say to people, I'm just your brother. I'm a fellow decoder, fellow researcher. I just have courage enough to stand on the front lines and take it because I'm just built that way. Are you following me?
Mm.
So I'm just saying to that sister, whoever you are, sister, I don't know you. You understand? My daughter got vexed at you, and I tried to tell her to calm down. You understand what I'm saying? But you can call me, 678-557-2919. And the other elder gentleman that you had on your show, Lenon, I don't have access to these people. You probably do. I don't know them. This dude called me some so-called pseudo-intellectual. No one said I was that. That's a cheap title for me, man. I'm God, man, having a human experience called Griff. And let some of them idiots marinate on that one. And anytime they want to call me on it, they can call me on it. Hell, I could back that up. 678-557-2919. I hear them thinking right now, Lenon, how dare he call himself God?
They might be calling you. They might be calling you right after the show's over.
My phone is right in front of me. Ain't nobody gonna call me on that. If they do, they better bring it. Plain and simple. Everything that's divine, Lenon, is in you. Everything that's divine is in your mate. Right now, you're about to have an immaculate conception. Oh, well, okay, you had to do the physical thing. We know that's third-dimensional paradigm. Are you following me?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going on right now. That's why the baby comes out with a natural inclination to suck the breast, to pull on life. Are you following me?
That's real talk.
The baby's not taught that in the womb. That's why it says in the Holy Quran, it wasn't you or you that made the child. It was I who created you in the womb. But anyway, we're not going to teach that lesson right now. Anyway, thank you very much, and you have my number, good brother, so talk to me, all right? We good.
Yeah, for sure, bro. So this is done, and I want to thank you again for joining me here. And again, as I stated before, no disrespect was intended to you and your family, and I'm wishing you all the best in 2011, and keep doing what you're doing. Much respect, Brother Griff.
Oh, give thanks. Take care.
Okay, peace now.
All right, peace.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a monumental show, and Brother Griff, he said it, and I said it. He and I, we don't agree on everything, but we do recognize that there are some things that need to be dealt with, regardless of our disagreements. And one of the things that he brought up towards the end here was when he was talking about the babies. Let's be clear on this. What value is there in maintaining negativity, division, animosity, hatred, warfare, whether it's physical or verbal? What value is that going to have for future generations? And I will tell you now here today that we have set a new standard, a new precedence, and much respect to Professor Griff in terms of his participation in seeking to make this happen. Regardless of whether or not you agree with Professor Griff or you agree with me, just recognize that the issues between Professor Griff and I have been resolved. The real question becomes, are you willing to let it go?